What's up guys, I'm Sean. The other day I took my E92 M3 to Sonoma Raceway, and even with all the mods, the car still understeered a little more than I liked. It understeered at the high speed sweeping turns. Definitely understeered at turn 6, the carousel, which is like a long sweeping U-turn. And it understeered at turn 7, which is like a double apex turn. And of course it understeered at turn 11, which is like a fast, tight U-turn. So today I'm going to be installing the Hotchkis front sway bar that I bought from BMW World. It comes with the sway bar bushing and bracket. That's the part number. And it's 4-way adjustable from 295 to 335 to 380 to 435 pounds. So it goes from 52% to up to 124% stiffer than stock. This is going to help with the high speed sweeping turns. To get started, we have to remove the front felt panel as well as the aluminum splash shield. Very similar to my suspension overhaul video. If you haven't seen that video yet, check it out, where I installed the Bilstein PSS coilovers as well as the SPL front sway bar end links, and I changed the front sway bar bushing. With the felt panel off and the aluminum plate off, you have full access to the sway bar brackets. So it's just held in by 213s on this side and 213s on the other side with a 10mm. And then we're going to get to the sway bar end links. Here's a comparison between the front OEM sway bar and the Hotchkis sway bar. So obviously the front is not adjustable, whereas with the Hotchkis, it's 4-way adjustable. If you set your sway bar end link to the outermost hole, it's 295 inch-pounds, then 335 inch-pounds, then 380, and then 435. So hardcore track setup with really stiff suspension, you might want to do the stiffest, 435 pounds. A little bit more mild would be the softest setting is 295. I'm going to go right here at 335 and really try it out. If I don't feel like it's enough, then I can go stiffer, but I'm not going to go full stiff. I'm probably going to go right there. Part of the idea behind the front sway bar on a BMW is that the BMW uses a McPherson style front strut. So when you're on the track and you're cornering aggressively, it can actually go to positive camber, where the front wheel goes positive. You can tell by how much it eats the outer edge of the tire. And keep in mind, I'm running -3 degrees camber, which is a good amount of camber. Not crazy like 3.5 or 4, but I don't want to run too much camber. So one thing you can do is run a front sway bar that's a little bit stiffer than stock. So that's going to help minimize the tire going positive camber when I'm on the track. The Hotchkis front sway bar came with the sway bar brackets and a bushing. So you just open it up like that and install the grease that came with it. I'm going to slide it on to the sway bar. I just used 1 pack of the grease. It was more than enough for both sides. And in the future, there's a Zerk fitting there if you decide to re-lube it. So now let's get ready to install it onto the car using the washers that came with it and the OEM nut. The Hotchkis front sway bar is installed. It takes a little finessing to get it over the control arm, but it fits. So now I just have to torque the 13mm sway bar brackets to 16 foot-pounds, which is not much. The Hotchkis front sway bar bracket on the driver's side doesn't allow you to use the factory nut holding this bracket, which is fine because this thing is pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. All right, reinforcement plate's back on and the felt is back on. Now I just have to do the sway bar end links. To properly set the sway bar end link so there's no preload, you want it at static ride height. So one way to do it is to put the wheels on, put the car on the ground, maybe out some ramps, blocks of wood, or you can jack it up both sides. Here's the passenger side. Here's the driver's side jacked up. I'm compressing the suspension so it's at static ride height. Now I can install the adjustable SPL sway bar end links so there's no preload. Hotchkis front sway bar has been installed, and then I adjusted the SPL sway bar end links, and I set the sway bar to the second from the softest which is 73% stiffer than stock. So I'm gonna give that a shot. And if it's not stiff enough, then I'm gonna go to the next one. And I'm gonna go for a quick test drive to make sure there's no rubbing or any issues. And so far so good. Everything is nice and smooth. I don't hear any issues. There's a little U-turn test. No issues. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Test drive went well, but the real test will be on the track in a few weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.